Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're unpacking a truly brilliant roadmap, one that takes you from being a struggling, totally exhausted beginner all the way to becoming a seasoned CEO running a fully automated machine. Listen, if you've ever felt like your business is running you instead of the other way around, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down this simple 8-part journey to help you finally take back total control. I want you to take a second and really think about this. What if you could build a business that literally pays you while you take a casual stroll through the park on a random Tuesday morning? I mean, that's the ultimate entrepreneurial dream, right? But to actually get there, we can't just rely on brute force hard work. We have to build a highly efficient machine. So let's build that machine together today. Here is our exact agenda. We'll start by validating your idea. Then we'll lock in your positioning and premium offers. From there, we'll tackle marketing and sales, shift into keeping your profit first, and finally, scale the whole shebang through time systems. Let's dive right in. Okay, section 1, validating your business idea. And the absolute golden rule here, don't build until they buy. So why do 90% of beginners completely wipe out? Well, they fall right into the classic beginner trap. They get an exciting idea, they spend months building a fancy website, they pay for a logo, and then, finally, they try to sell it. And what happens? Crickets. Absolutely nobody buys. The pro move completely flips this equation on its head. You get the idea, you try to sell it immediately, and only when people actually hand you their hard-earned money do you go and build it. You have to let the market decide if your idea is actually good before you waste a single dollar or minute of your time. So how do we actually pull this off? You use the 48-hour money challenge, a concept popularized by Noah Kagan. Your mission is to get 3 paying customers in just 2 days. And a quick heads up, asking your friends for feedback does not count, because honestly, they'll just politely lie to you. You have to ask for money. Take this one guy who wanted to start a dog walking business. He pitched his neighbors, but they didn't want a dog walker. Walking their dog was actually the best part of their day. But by keeping the conversation going, he discovered their true bleeding neck problem. They desperately needed someone to watch their dogs while they were on vacation. They agreed to pay him $60 a day right there on the spot. He got 3 yeses and instantly pivoted to a highly lucrative dog-sitting business. Ask for money, not feedback. Moving right along to section 2, positioning and premium offers. This is exactly how you escape the price war. Because let's be real, in a price war, nobody actually wins. You just bleed slower than the next guy. To walk away from that price war, you don't need to hunt down some magical competition-free zone. You just change the rules of the game using a simple 4-part framework. First, eliminate. Kill the things your competitors are doing just because everyone else does them. Second, reduce. Shrink the stuff that isn't really important. Third, raise. Massively improve the things your target customer actually cares about. And fourth, create. Offer something brand new. Think about a crowded street lined with identical, boring cafes. Instead of competing on the price of a standard latte, you decide to target the remote laptop worker. You eliminate the expensive cake display and all the small talk. You reduce the massive lounge couches. You heavily raise the internet speed and make sure there are plenty of power outlets. And finally, you create a totally new rule, a flat $10 daily rate for unlimited coffee and a dedicated workspace. Suddenly, you aren't competing with the cafe next door anymore. You're competing with expensive co-working spaces. And the best part? Your costs are actually lower. Now that cafe example perfectly illustrates how you build an irresistible premium offer through something called stacking. Don't just sell one single thing. Solve every single problem standing between your customer and their ultimate goal. Let's say you're selling a weight loss program. Your customers' hurdles are pretty predictable. They don't know what groceries to buy, they don't know how to cook healthy meals, and they don't have time to figure out a workout. So you stack solutions for every single obstacle. You give them a grocery video guide, a fast cooking masterclass, and a follow-along home workout plan. By stacking all of this together, you instantly create nearly $1,200 in perceived value, making your $399 asking price an absolute no-brainer. And please, whatever you do, do not be afraid to charge that premium price. Here is a crazy psychological secret for you. Premium pricing actually changes customer perception, and it massively increases their commitment. Researchers once ran an experiment where they poured the exact same wine into 3 different glasses, priced at $3, $6, and $18. People consistently rated the $18 glass as the best tasting wine. It's literally the same wine. But when people see a higher price, they automatically assume higher quality. On top of that, when they pay good money, they're emotionally and financially invested, which means they'll actually put in the work required to get results. All right, section 3, targeted marketing and sales. We need to connect and convert. And step 1 here, Stop juggling 5 social media platforms at once. Pick just one platform where your audience actually hangs out and completely dominate it. Once you've locked in your platform, you have to be totally ruthless about narrowing down who you sell to. Trying to please everyone just makes you the safe, boring option. So ask yourself these 3 questions and score your current customer groups from 1 to 10. 1, do you actually enjoy working with them? 2, do they have a bleeding neck problem? Meaning, are they in so much pain they need your solution right this second? And 3, can they afford your prices without batting an eye? Whoever scores the highest is your winner. Drop everyone else. Then, I want you to study this winning group's late-night worries until your knowledge of them gets, well, a little creepy. Literally to the point where they stop and ask, wait, how did you know I was thinking that? Because when you understand them that perfectly, sales actually becomes easy. Here's the ultimate secret if you hate selling. Be a doctor, not a salesman. Think about it. When you go to a doctor, you don't care about their sales pitch. You just want to know they understand your pain and can make it stop. If you can explain a potential client's problem to them more clearly than they can even explain it themselves, they will automatically believe you have the solution. But just naming the pain isn't quite enough. You actually have to prove you can fix it. Instead of sending generic outreach emails saying, hey, your video thumbnails are bad, I can fix them, give them a free taste of the solution. Actually redesign their thumbnail, send it over and say, hey, I made a better version for free, test it out, and if it wins, let's talk. Or if you sell a high-ticket consulting, record a custom 5-minute audit diagnosing a very specific problem in their business. Prove your worth right up front. Section 4 is an absolute game changer. Keeping your profit first. We are flipping traditional business math completely on its head. Most entrepreneurs think revenue minus expenses equals profit. They pay all their bills first and just take whatever tiny scrap is left over. We are changing that equation right now to revenue minus profit equals expenses. Let's look at how this mathematically protects you from failure and builds real financial health. Human psychology says that we will spend whatever money we see sitting in our bank account. It's just human nature. To fix this, you must split incoming revenue across 4 distinct accounts the very second it arrives. As a baseline for a one-person business, allocate 5% to profit, 50% to owner's pay, 15% to tax, and run the business on the remaining 30% for expenses. Notice how owner's pay and profit are completely separate. Owner's pay is your fair salary for doing the daily grind. The profit account is entirely different. It's your ultimate reward for taking the massive risk of starting a business in the first place. You take your profit first. If you don't have enough left in that 30% account to pay the bills, you do not steal from your profit, you cut your expenses. And finally, Section 5, scaling through time systems. This is how you finally buy back your freedom and ditch that exhausting 80-hour work week. The fatal mistake beginners make is that they hire just to grow. True pros hire to buy back their time. But you can't just hand off tasks randomly. It needs to happen in a specific chronological order. Start by outsourcing draining administration work, stuff like billing and invoicing. Next up is delivery, the core service you provide, like baking the cakes or writing the code. This is usually the hardest thing to let go of. So use the 10-80-10 rule. You do the first 10% to set the vision, your new hire does the 80% heavy lifting, and then you step back in for the final 10% polish. Once delivery is handled, you hire for marketing, then sales, and finally leadership, where someone else manages the entire team for you. Now, how do you ensure all these new hires don't just ruin your hard-earned reputation? You have to realize that your true product is not the coffee or the software or the consulting. Your true product is your business system. Think of a McDonald's franchise. You get the exact same burger anywhere in the world, made by an 18-year-old with zero culinary experience. Why is that? Because McDonald's relies on a rock-solid written system, not expensive experts. All the knowledge lives in the system itself, and the employees just run the play. Building that system is surprisingly easy today. Step 1, record. Just record yourself doing the task, explaining your thought process out loud using a screen recording tool or even just your smartphone. Step 2, document. Drop that video transcript into an AI tool and ask it to draft a step-by-step process. Step 3, checklist. Pull out the absolute high-level must-dos. And finally, step 4, test. Hand that checklist to someone else. When they inevitably get stuck, and they will, remember, you don't blame them. You fix the system so it never happens again. Which brings us to our final and definitely most important question. Are you ready to stop working in your business and finally start working on it? Applying this blueprint changes absolutely everything. Validate your ideas, claim your profit first, and get your freedom back. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I challenge you, go put just one of these systems